was twisted, it was hanging out, it looked like a booger. A big old silver booger. So, well, I love theater. I love theater. I love musical theater. I love musical theater more than anything on this earth. Yes. And I have loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it since I was a little girl. I think that I am truly like a theater bunny, because I can remember being so little. I think my parents have a tape of me on like 3, perhaps, and I'm like, before the parade passes on. So I've loved theater. That was good. I've loved theater my entire life. It's just always been such a big part of my life. I really have my parents to thank for that. They played fabulous, fabulous music while I was growing up. I was also like a little advanced for my age. When I was 8 years old, that was, what, 1992? I was 7, I was 8. I can't do math, I'm a theater major. I was 7. At Carnegie Hall, there was the Stephen Sondheim celebration. So we had the double disc, and I listened to it, and I became obsessed with the song Getting Married Today from Company. So I would sit there with the liner notes, and there's nothing that I hate more than when a musical theater CD does not have liner notes with all the lyrics. That is rude. It is rude. I don't care about the environment when it comes to liner notes. Use those trees, chop those trees down, print the lyrics. So I would sit in front of the really sweet 3-disc CD player with the record player on top. And I memorized all the lyrics to Getting Married Today. And I can specifically remember, it was like in the summer, and my cousin Leslie was there, and Ironic by Alanis Morissette had just came out, and I had the edited single. And I remember she got up and she sang Ironic by Alanis Morissette, and then I was like, now I will sing! And I sang Getting Married Today. And I was 7, and I'm sure I sang all the parts, and I had no idea what that song was about. I just thought it was funny. So, theater's just been something that I've loved forever. Oh, and the first show that I ever saw, I still remember it. I think I was in kindergarten. Was I in kindergarten? Into the Woods, Jessica Wales. Kindergarten? Oh, nursery school. Well, I had this friend named Jessica Wales. We used to take swimming together in this freezing, cold, frigid pool that we had to jump into at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I guess her parents must have been into theater because this local private high school was doing Into the Woods, and I had never heard of it. I was 5, and her parents though had the video cassette recording, and so we would watch it, and I kind of got obsessed with it a little bit. And so this high school was doing it, so we went to see the show, and Jessica had this massive house, and her entire basement was like playland for children. So we would go down there and play all the time. Nose ring booger. Okay. All right. So it turns, it spins. I don't know, it just moves. So we were down in her basement, and she had all these really cool toys. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I feel like we did not have cool toys in our house. I just don't think we did. She had this wire tunnel covered in fabric, and you could crawl through it. And she had one of those slides in the shape of an elephant where you slide down the trunk. So we decided that we would line the wire tunnel up with the end of the slide. So it'd be like you slid down the slide, and theoretically, you would fly through the tunnel. Inertia, gravity, it did not happen. So you would go down the slide, and you would hit your head on the wire tunnel, and you would just thump to the ground. So then we had this, I don't know whose idea it was, but it was to lift up the bottom of the slide. And then, perhaps because you were in the air, then you would be, instead of just, hitting the ground, you would just fall to the ground. So I held it up for her. We were alone in her basement. I don't know why, we were alone. So I held up the slide for her. Apparently I've been working out because she was bigger than me, I remember. But she went through, she was fine. She was like, oh, that was awesome, I flew. So I'm like, my turn. So she's holding the slide, and as soon as I get on the slide, and I wasn't fat as a child, so we cannot blame it on that. I was a little anorexic, skinny, and I weighed 4 pounds. She let go, and the slide tipped over, and I was like, and I smashed my head on this rocking horse handle. So I remember crying and crying, and her parents came running downstairs, and her mom was an emergency room nurse, and she was like, I think we need to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I'm going to see Into the Woods. So we went to see Into the Woods, and I sat there. I can so clearly picture this. I held a paper towel to my bleeding head throughout the whole show, and I sat there and I was like, I love theater. That's really when I fell in love with theater, and then I had to go to the emergency room, they had to shave part of my head, and I got stitches. But anyway, I was like Cinderella's mother when she appeared in the tree. I was like, this is magic. This is real. And it was most likely because I was suffering from massive blood loss. But speaking of hitting on yourself on the head and bleeding, I'm getting married next year. Freshman year, and he, proposed in December, and it was the biggest surprise of my entire life. I was hysterical to the point where they had to bring me orange juice because they thought I was going to pass out. And I was like, no, he's the one with diabetes, but I was like, totally magical. And, oh, Jay, not yet. Not yet. Oh. Yeah, just not yet, okay? So it was totally magical, and I'm so happy, and I was so in love, and everything is so wonderful, and everything is just beautiful and extraordinary. And planning a wedding is hard work. I don't know if you all know this, but it takes a lot of planning.
We'll have an old-fashioned wedding. Dress in the old-fashioned way. I'll vow to love you forever. You'll vow to love and honor and obey. Somewhere in some little chapel, someday when orange blossoms bloom, we'll have an old-fashioned wedding, a simple wedding for an old-fashioned bride and groom.
I want a wedding in a big church with bridesmaids and flower girls, a lot of ushers in tailcoats, reporters and photographers, a ceremony by a bishop who will tie the knot and say, do you agree to love and honor, yes, but not obey? I want a wedding surrounded by diamonds and platinum, a big reception at the Waldorf with champagne